Hi, everybody, and welcome to our live stream series. Each week, we will now talk to coaches, athletes, officials, administrators, and volunteers and learn more about them and their journey with table tennis in Canada.
Bon, bonjour tout le monde. Ceci, c'est une nouvelle série d'entrevues que Thorsten va diriger toutes les semaines, les mercredis. Et ça va être des athlètes, des entraîneurs, des officiels qui seront avec vous et qui répondront aux questions que Thorsten va demander ou que l'invité va demander.
Today, we're excited to welcome Ontario's Julia Charbonneau. We will learn more about her table tennis career that started at the table tennis table at home in Quebec and brought her a few years later to Ottawa to join the National Training Center.
Hi.
Alors aujourd'hui, notre invitée spéciale, c'est Julia Charbonneau, anciennement appelée Julia Johnson, JJ. Et elle est ici parce que c'est une entraîneur maintenant. Avant, c'était une joueuse de l'équipe nationale. Elle a commencé sa carrière à Châteauguay au Québec. Et puis, elle a rejoint le Centre national à Ottawa. Et elle a été membre de l'équipe nationale. Et aujourd'hui, elle entraîne dans un club de nouveau à Ottawa.
Yeah, welcome, Julia, and off to you, Adam.
Okay, Julia, I'm going to surprise you maybe a little bit here. First of all, I'm wearing this very special shirt in your honor. I don't know if you can see, if everybody can see.
I can see it.
You can see it? It has a logo from 1981, 82, something like this, which used to be the logo of Table Tennis Canada. At that time, it was called Canadian Table Tennis Association. And this was the national team shirt, which was sort of a heavy shirt, unlike what you guys wear today, much lighter shirt. So I'm putting this in your honor. And I think you're wearing a shirt in my honor because it says ITTF, and I used to be ITTF president. So I thank you for that.
That's right, yeah.
Well, the first thing I have for you, and I don't know if you will remember, depends how good your memory is. When you came to Ottawa, it was 1981. You went to Algonquin College, I believe, or to Carleton University. You can explain.
Carleton, yeah.
Carleton. And at that time, we had a national coach. His name is Latko Chordas, one of the most famous national coaches in the world. Used to be a very top player as well, very highly ranked. But then he was the national coach of Canada, but also the national coach of Germany later on, and a very successful coach. You were playing one day, and I used to come and watch the practices. He used to run the practices. And at that time, there was you, Becky McKnight, Ed Suin of PI. PI used to have very good players at that time, and many other players playing. And he was giving instructions to everybody except you. So I was wondering, is he upset with you or something? So I went to ask him, what's going on? Is Julia okay? Are you having any problems? He says, Julia is very unique. I said, in what sense?
Oh boy.
He said she doesn't really need a coach because she has a natural sense of play, which is, and the way he said it's deconstructed. You know, if you're a coach, deconstructed means that everything is not put together. So I said, what do you mean deconstructed? She says, everything she does is a surprise. I said, how does that work? He says it works fantastically because the other players don't know how to react. And she's waiting for the ball to be a little bit higher than the net. And as soon as she sees that, she smashes the ball. And he says, I wish I could teach this. He says it's just a natural ability. Most players, they have a constructed system. You know, they have a certain style, a certain way of playing, how to win the points, strategy, and so on. Like your husband, for example, Stefan, he builds up, you know, the game to make a point. And he says, Julia, it's not like this. She just has a natural instinct, and she's just waiting for that moment to smash the ball. You remember how you play at the time?
Wow, I didn't know that. That's I don't remember that. I was singled out, but I just know I used to like to smash the ball.
Yes. And you had very fast reactions, if I remember correctly. And I remember also, especially on your backhand side, sometimes the ball would go this way, sometimes it would go that way. So he was right in the sense that your reaction was very surprising to your opponent. So in practice, I don't know how it was. Did people like to practice with you, or was it difficult for them?
I don't think anybody, I don't remember anybody telling me that they didn't like practicing with me, but and I think I kept the ball on the table for them when it was their drill. But when it comes to the backhand, I can see I probably didn't know which side it was going to either.
Yourself, you didn't. Oh, it wasn't on purpose then.
I don't think so. I think my backhand was just, like you said, I think it was just a reaction. My forehand I was able to control, and but my backhand, no, my backhand was very random. And yeah, I don't even think I knew which way I was going.
Well, that's the best, because if you don't know, then the opponent doesn't.
Yeah.
But I asked him this question. So I said, okay, this is very good in matches, but shouldn't she in practice be doing the drills that you're giving and so on? He says, yes, she is. I mean, she is doing it, no problem. And it's very good for the others practicing with her, because it's not like a robot, you know, that you know exactly where the ball is going. There's always some variation in spin and so on. Whereas your husband, Stefan, he used to be actually on my team in the league. So I used to coach him when he was a little kid, right? And his game is very structured. Like, he knows exactly where he's putting the ball, he's changing the spin, and he's waiting either for the opponent to make a mistake, that's how he makes most of his points, or for him to see an opening and then try and displace, you know, or the opponent and make the point. Whereas in your case, it was this kind of very fierce, bang, 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 you know, and very fast. And he loved it. He loved it. And then when he said this to me, there were other players that had similar kind of style as you, maybe not exactly the same technique, but similar style. And when I was coaching, I would just let them do whatever they want. I would just correct things that, let's say they couldn't return a short serve or something. I would help them with that, but the rest I would let them loose, you know. Whereas your husband, I used to, you know, really show him the techniques and so on, because that's how he was. Okay, so that's from the past. So tell us a little bit, the first time you represented Canada, do you remember where it was and where you went and so on?
The first time I represented Canada, I think it was that did we go to Paris for the, to train with the juniors in France?
Absolutely, you're right. You, Becky McKnight, Ed Suin again, and Joe Eng. And I don't remember if Alain Bourbonnais was part of this or not.
I
can't remember. We have to ask.
I don't remember. I don't remember Alain being there. I remember. And of course, Becky and myself, but I don't remember if Alain was there.
You practice at the French National Training Center, right? With all sports.
Yes, yeah. Actually, I think we played at 2 venues, and we did the camp in, was it Stone, south of France, and I know he's France. So we were there for 2 weeks, and we put on an exhibition, Canada against France.
Okay.
And
how old were you then at that time? What is your age?
I believe I was 17.
I think younger. I think younger.
Yeah.
Probably younger. Okay, and then let's fast forward now. Let's bypass a lot of years. You started to compete again in World Veteran Championships. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
So which was the first one, and how did you do?
So the first one, I would have competed in the World Veterans earlier, but I didn't realize that it existed, where there was a competition, an international competition for older people. So the first one that we went to was in Alicante, and I believe that was 2016.
In Spain?
And that was amazing. That was an amazing experience, an amazing tournament. You know, to see an over 90 age category, over 85 years old, and they were still competing. It was very motivating. Very. That's what's great about table tennis. You can play at any age. So I was one of the young ones, the veterans. But it was a great experience. And then we went back in 2018 to Las Vegas. And my partner and I, Betty Zariba from Mississauga, we won the constellation doubles. So we're the best of the worst in the over 55 women's doubles.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
So are you going to continue to do this?
Oh yeah. We were all ready to go to Bordeaux last June, but with COVID, that got postponed. So right now they're saying it might be in May, I believe. But yeah, we're planning on going. We have our airplane tickets, and yeah.
And when you say we, you mean you and Stefan? You and your husband?
Stefan and myself, and I've actually recruited my sister from retirement.
Wow.
And so my sister reconnected with Eddie Lowe from Vancouver, and Eddie Lowe contacted Alex Poliswa, who's in Egypt, I think, right now working. And it's great because we're all planning to go to Bordeaux, and this is like lifelong friends that we made from the 70s.
This is great. These are all these names you mentioned were all national team members at one point or another. Eddie Lowe from Vancouver with Peter Joe. He was a top player, pen holder. And your sister Pauline used to play also in Châteauguay, was on national team as well. Alex Poliswa was also Canadian champion and national team for a long time. So these names are really, they're all in their 50s and 60s right now, right?
Yeah. I think the guys are in the 60s, but of course the women are still in their 50s.
And we remain in their 50s for a long time.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, now let's go to Thorsten, because I think, he's the chairman of the coaching committee, and I'm sure that his interest, as far as questions are concerned, will be more on the coaching side. And you're a very active coach right now in Ottawa. So yes. Thorsten, could you go ahead and ask the kind of questions that the coaching committee wants to know?
I think before we go that way, I have a question in regards to when and how did you do the transition to become a national team athlete?
When and how did, I started playing when I was 11, and I guess just from the family, my father played, my sister played, and there were a lot of tournaments in our generation. It was a different feel, and with the camps and with everything. So we became a family, and a lot of road trips, and I won the juniors, and then I kept playing, and then after winning the under 17, I guess, for Canada, that was when the National Training Center, I guess they had 1 year before I went, if I'm not mistaken, Adam. And so I just continued, from playing regularly and winning tournaments and representing Quebec, and then our family moved to Ontario, representing Ontario, just kept playing. And then I made the national team at around 17 years old. So it was just continual.
That's a good question, Thorsten, because at that time, if I remember, she said the road trips. I used to be the driver most of the time. We had 5 drivers, actually. We used to rent 3 station wagons. And because it's 5 drivers, so 2, and 1. The other 2 would share the driving, and I was the one who would drive on my own. We used to drive, I would say, every second weekend from Montreal to Toronto. Yeah. There were tournaments in Toronto at least twice a month, and tournaments in Montreal and the Quebec area, same, about twice a month. So people living in Toronto, Montreal area could play, if they wanted, every weekend in a tournament, almost. Yeah. That's right?
And we did. Everybody played, and everybody stayed to watch the finals. So you might be playing a final match at 11 o'clock at night, and the gym was still full, and everybody watched everybody, and everybody cheered for everybody. And I find now you go to a tournament and, you know, when the finals are on, it's only the players and their family members that are left watching the finals. So, it's unfortunate.
We should have the finals first.
Yes, yes.
Okay, Thorsten, another question.
So now you're coaching at the Ottawa Table Tennis Club.
Yes.
And maybe you can just share on what's going to happen there right now and what's going to happen for you in the future there.
Okay. So with COVID, things slowed down a little bit. Our club was actually closed for a little while. And so we were all excited when we got the news that the club could open. And of course, there's a lot of restrictions right now. And but it's working. Everybody's adjusting to the new ways. You have to you basically have to arrange to play ahead of time. There's a maximum of 4 tables, so which is great because you have a bigger court, and but you're not allowed to cross into the opponent's court. So things are a little bit different now with COVID, but the coaching has picked up. I started coaching about 3.5 years ago, and it was getting pretty busy for me before COVID, and it's picking up again. Like today, I had 3 lessons, and the future for it, I hope it picks up even more. I do have two new clients that have been taking lessons with me now for a month. And so that, because there's new bodies that I'm getting to see, and they were at the club before, so you know, maybe they didn't want lessons before, or maybe, you know, I don't know why the change now, but so I like that there's different people coming out for lessons. There's still some of the old clients that I have are coming back, so I think it's going to pick up, and I enjoy it. I'd like to see more younger people, but because I coach in the daytime, the younger people are in school. So, but that's okay. I'm getting a lot of the people my age, which is great because I'm teaching them some tricks rather than doing so much footwork. I'm teaching them how to lean, you know, and still get to the ball. And but no, it's picking up, and I think down the road it would be great to have a little league or something with these players and have them play against each other, you know. But that's up to the table tennis club to try to get that going.
I have one question.
And you can advertise for the World Veteran Championships.
Yes, but actually, that's what I want to ask. You play, Julia, in the World Veteran Championships, and I saw also that you play in some tournaments as well. How do you, and you say you're coaching a lot, so how do you practice yourself? Are you still practicing, or just the coaching is enough?
So that was the dilemma prior to COVID, when the coaching was getting really busy, and I really do enjoy the coaching. In fact, I think I enjoy it too much. I don't watch the clock, and I've had my hand slapped a few times because I've gone over the allotted time, and but I get so passionate about it, and especially if the person I'm teaching is actually getting to understand what I'm trying to explain. So it was tough before COVID for me to make time for myself to play. So I would be giving lessons for 4 or 5 hours in the daytime, and then stick around at the club so that I could play at night. And it was tough for me because I didn't have the stamina to, my first match might be okay, or my first couple of games might be okay, but probably hurting in that way for a game situation. But with all the coaching I'm doing, all the blocking I'm doing, I'm getting really good at blocking, you know, because they're putting the ball here, they're putting the ball there, you know, and I have to put the ball right on their racket. So, you know, they're giving me flat balls, they're giving me, you know, high balls. So I'm trying to, you know, it's taught me a lot because I'm giving them the ball or trying to give them the ball right on their racket and giving them a consistent ball, even though I'm getting, Marianne says I'm getting good at the windshield wiper shot to return because they just, but it's great because now my blocking, my defensive game, because of coaching, my defensive game has got a lot better. And like you said earlier, my game was more of an aggressive, assertive, I wanted to kill every ball. So coaching has actually taught me the other side of the game is to play safe, play some safe points, keep the ball on the table. So the coaching has actually helped me. And in a roundabout way, I didn't realize it was helping me. I was, but it has helped me. So the balance is good. I make sure I have time.
I love that you're showing us a lot of backhands right now. So.
Okay, from my side, just one last.
Another question is, what is the highlight of your table tennis career?
The one highlight of my table tennis career? I would say,
when you look back?
There's a couple of highlights. Definitely representing Canada at the international tournaments, and I played in Budapest. One summer I went to Budapest and trained with their players over there. Becky and myself went, Becky McKnight, and I was 15 at the time, and we went for 1 month. Becky was 13, and we didn't speak the language, and our parents let us go there for 1 month, and we stayed with a host family and trained. And you know, just representing Canada when we played in France, and then Bombay at the Commonwealth Games. Just anytime you can represent your country, there's it's a great feeling. So I would have to say representing Canada.
Okay, it looks like Thorsten is out of questions, so I'll just remind you one thing. Yeah, I can ask Thorsten a question or remind her of something. You mentioned Bombay.
Go ahead, please.
I think Thorsten is coming in and out. Are you okay, Thorsten? You want to ask a question, or should I ask the question? Okay, so you mentioned Bombay. Do you remember Bombay after the tournament was over? It was in February, actually. It was quite hot over there, quite cold in Canada. You remember what were your activities once the tournament was finished? Because I remember very well.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Once the tournament was over, you and of course everybody else on the team were at the swimming pool in the hotel the whole time. You don't remember?
I remember that. Okay,
before flying back to Canada. And you were saying we're trying to get as much sun as possible before we go back to the cold again in November. Anyway, I really enjoyed this talk, and I'll give it back to Thorsten now to conclude with you. Thorsten, thank you very much for organizing this. I enjoyed it very much. And I'll be very happy when I wear this again next time.
I'm surprised you still have it.
Thank you very much to both of you, Julia and Adam. That was a great start in our series. And yeah, I think everybody else, stay tuned. We're going to continue next week. So thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you at the club.